On April 9th, 1865, the Confederacy surrendered and the Civil War came to an end. President Lincoln's next task was to bring the rebel states back into the Union. Because his main goal was to bring the country together, Lincoln had no strong desire to punish the rebels. His plan required only 10% of former Confederates to pledge loyalty to the United States. But other Republicans in Congress broke with Lincoln, insisting that it was not punishment enough. Congress wrote its own bill, raising the loyalty oath requirement to 50% and prohibiting Confederate officials from voting or holding office. But Lincoln used his veto power to stop the bill. On April 15th, just 6 days after the war had ended, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated while watching a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. Lincoln's vice president, a Southern Democrat named Andrew Johnson, was sworn in as the new leader of the executive branch. At first, Republicans in Congress were hopeful that President Johnson would agree to harsher terms on the Confederate states. Johnson's plan required that anyone involved with the Confederacy would need a full presidential pardon before they could return to government work. In practice, however, Johnson gave out pardons to almost everyone who applied, allowing many former Confederate officials to once again direct Southern state governments. Many of these Southern states immediately tried to recreate slavery by passing laws called Black Codes, which restricted Black people's rights to vote or own land and aimed to keep them working on plantations by making it a crime to be unemployed. Because the wording of the 13th Amendment outlaws forced labor except as punishment for a crime, some states sought to criminalize Blackness and then lease out convicts for profit, a situation which, for all intents and purposes, was the same as slavery.